All right, hopefully that's gonna work. It's a little less problems than we've had in the past. A little less of me, a little less of the wall. I'm going to try one more big adjustment. Oh my God. Good morning, everybody. I'm just trying to get this. That's the way it's going to have to be. So it's been kind of a wacky week. The last live I did, I was just doing this collage, right? No, the last video I did, I was doing this collage. So I actually did all the pages from that book. So I'm all set to do collages at any time. Not today. And I did sew around these pieces that I made. So here's a journaling card. And what I did was I put blue thread in the top of my sewing machine, and in the bobbin I put the traditional gold that I always use. But they're both Gutermann, so they're the same thread weight. And I'm talking with my hands. And so here's another one. And then I've got 3 tags I'll show you, and then I'll clear that off the desk. So these I posted photos on my Instagram, but they weren't finished. They didn't have the sewing or anything through them. I'm gonna do is it Maisha? Oh, it just faded. I didn't get to Maisha. Yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit of work on a couple of journals I've got going. So I'm going to put this away. This is kind of going to be a TV kind of project. I've got my stamps all organized and some fussy cuts all organized. These are actually plastic envelopes, well, more like a vinyl sort of envelope, I guess, that are used for price tags on furniture. So, you know, if you go to the big box furniture stores, they're gonna have these with you know, the plastic thing, tag thing. So these are really good for organizing. I got them from a friend of my sister. Apparently she has thousands of them. I have no idea why. I got a couple from, I think I maybe got 100 from her, and so far I don't need any more. The next thing I want to do is Gemex. What's Gemex? I think I probably could. I could probably trade her some stuff. Yeah, I could probably trade her some stuff and get some more. So what I'm going to do is work on this book today. I'm taking out all of this. This sewing book is from 1972. It's the 6th printing. And what I want to do is cover this binder. Oh, Natalie, I have the garden book. It's in my basement. If I have two, I will give you one. I might have two, seriously. I have 2 Frasers in the room. Hello, Frasers. So I want to adhere this patchwork, embroidered, all the words, embroidered, embellished fabric to this. So I had sewn all of the fabrics onto this paper, and I've got it marked out where the this spine goes. Woo! So my plan, I guess, is I'm going to glue the spine down first, and then I will let that dry, work on something else while I let that dry, and then do I want to sell it? Well, if I have another one. I'll let you know if I've got a spare. Okay. So it has this like yellowed piece of plastic in here, and I think that's so that the pages don't get caught down in the gizmo, which is a technical term, down in the gizmo. But I don't know whether I should leave it or take it out. Right. How can I support this? I think I got an idea. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. That'll work, right? Oh, thanks, Donna. Anyway, my week. Tuesday morning, we woke up to sewage back up in our basement. And if anybody's ever dealt with that, well, you know just how much fun that is. I'm just cutting this piece off. I've marked that as being extra. So luckily the plumber was able to come quickly and get that all sorted out. But for the past 3 days, I've done nothing but scrub that basement floor. So I think I have it sanitized to a degree that I'm comfortable with at this point. So we're good. I can save this and use it as a snippet roll. Yeah, it wasn't pretty. Yeah. So we threw out 2 area rugs and a wooden shelf. Kept the plastic shelf that was in, like, I have some storage shelves in the basement in the laundry room, but I threw out the one with the wood. So this is the spine, and where I have these narrow pieces, that'll kind of be going down in the crotch. What else do you call it? The crotch of the book. Anyway, so luckily my son Jordan was home. Him and his roommate came over right away to help me because Doug is no good in crisis. Well, I shouldn't say that. He's good in crisis, not this variety of crisis, because he just gags and yells. So that was fun. I went and worked at the office for the day because guess where my home office is? Fortunately, my craft room is now upstairs and not in the basement any longer. But I didn't have a lot of time to craft because I was busy dealing with pine sol and poo. Now, last time we were doing a live video, I was talking about how the cat is making me crazy because he's barfing all over my house. And so Tuesday I was at my limit. I'm all done. So I called the vet and made an appointment to bring him in. And of course the vets are all, you can't go in, you just have to call them when you get there, and then they come out and get the animal, and you stay in your car, and then when they're done, they call and say, we're done. So I got an appointment for yesterday, and I went to work, and Doug was going to go pick up the cat. So after the cat had his exam, the vet called me and said, there's nothing wrong with this cat. I mean, he is a big cat. He's a super huge cat. And he's 11, so he's getting old. So he's not, the picture of health. But for an old cat, he's not bad. She asked me questions, about his diet and stuff. And I lied, because I couldn't tell her he lives mostly on cheese and spiders. Gibson. So they did blood work, and she said it's behavioral. He doesn't like you people. All right, I'm gonna set this aside so that this can get good and dry. And he's just a neurotic cat, and he wants what he wants, and he wants us out. And he's very intimidating. When my son was here, not last year, 2 years ago, he was actually in Borden doing a course, so he would come here on the weekend, hang out with us for 8 weeks, and the cat would stalk him. Who are you? Why are you here? I thought I got rid of you. Get out of my house. I thought for sure that Mark was going to end up dead. Okay, now the rest of the book, I think I will keep the tabs and maybe cover them with, cover them with fabric or cover them with collage, or not sure, but I think I'll keep the tabs or some of the tabs, and that's that. Okay, now I started this book. I have actually about 5 journals that are started, but I never finished. So this one, I've got the pages in. I just need to embellish and end pages, and it's good to go. So this one is language and letters. So I've kind of got a writing theme going. Like there's images of fonts, there's envelopes, like I've stenciled on some letters, and there's some pens, envelopes, more envelopes. So I've got that going on, but we need to get embellishing here. So I have a whole box of of stuff. Let's move this. Sorry, that's going to shake the camera. All right, you go over here. Anyway, we're getting better. Oh, I forgot to finish this story about Cat. So she said his teeth were in good shape. He's lost weight. He's a huge cat, and he's usually about 22 pounds ish. But since we've been home and he's been doing this barfing thing, he's down to 17 pounds 10 ounces. So he's lost a huge amount of weight, which, you know, in all fairness, it certainly wouldn't. Look at this cute little card. Wouldn't hurt him. But they've done blood work anyway. Just sorting stuff out here. And she said I also explained that he developed dandruff like right on the back of his back. Do I use liquid starch? And no. A rounded spine, I use Nick the Booksmith's method. So that involves a chipboard and a knife. And it works out well for me. I actually have not seen starch paper towel. I don't know. Maybe that's easier. So he has lost weight, but oh yeah, he had developed dandruff, and she said that's not unusual with cats who are kind of on the anxious side. Clearly that's his main issue is anxiety. And she said his skin was in good shape. She was happy with his grooming, which can sometimes be less than great with a cat his size because there's a whole lot of real estate for him to be grooming. Poor old cat. Okay. I haven't chosen what I'm going to do with that for an end paper yet. This flips out. This page is actually from the book. So I made a little library pocket. I think I'll glue that in. So she gave me a couple of options. You know, we can do blood work. We can, there's this treatment. It's actually like a plug-in, you know, like a Glade plug-in air freshener sort of thing, but it gets plugged in and it has cat pheromones, which will kind of chill him out. Or she said we can try medication. So there's like this, she called it kitty Prozac, where it's amitriptyline, but you rub it in the cat's ear and it lasts kind of 12 hours. So you have to give it to him twice a day and sort of chills him out. So I said, well, let's try the non-invasive first. We'll just try this cat thing. Nice little ink. So it's in our bedroom because he spends a lot of time in our bedroom. But then it occurred to me, we lock him out of our bedroom at night. So I'm going to have to fit, like, I don't know, do it 2 different places. I don't want to buy a second one until I figure out if it works. Apparently it does not affect people at all. I should ink that. Which is good. I got enough problems without being drugged. Maybe I want it there. And I can add a little. I actually have quite a few of those little envelopes. That's too big. But he really has not vomited since Tuesday. So at least I haven't found any. I have been focused on the basement, let me tell you. Maybe I'll save this for here and do something else. She said he has a little bit of arthritis in his right knee, which makes sense because he's a big boy, and you know that extra weight tends to put. I'm gonna put this tuck spot there. That extra knee. Extra weight will, you know, cause osteoarthritis. So she said we could, they could do injections, like sort of like an anti-inflammatory, but it's not like an NSAID, a non-steroidal kind of thing. And I said, you have to inject his knee. She goes, no, it's subcutaneous, which isn't bad. But you have to bring him every week for the first 4 weeks and then once a month. And I thought, oh my God, there's no way I'm getting Gibby to the vet weekly. He did not speak to me all night last night. He's forgiven me this morning because I feed him, and that's the only reason. Okay, I have, what have I got? Just trying to pick out something. So much stuff. So here is a postcard, Ottawa Electric Railway mail car, 1894. Doesn't have a date. It says it's the day of issue. And postage was 8 cents at the time, so I'm thinking that's probably 1970s. Who knows? So I'm going to tuck that in there. And I have these other little tags. Let's see if I have a green one. No, I have all blue. And this one is from 1964. So these were postcards, and I just cut off the top corner and made it look like a little tag. So I'm just gonna tuck that in there. Turn the page. So my idea with this is that there's going to be a lot of interesting things about, I'm going to use this as a belly band, so I need to trim it. A lot of things about books and letters and writing. So maybe it could be used as, you know, like a correspondence journal or a book journal. So I think maybe I'll use this as a belly band. Okay, bye, Andrea. So this was just a collage of vintage stamps. I'm going to decorate this up a bit. So here's a little, this is a piece of dictionary, and I masked where it said book and then inked around it, and then just added a little lace and a fussy cut of some books. So I think I'm going to add that right there. It is snowing, so that's another issue with my week. I cannot believe it. Yesterday morning, it was not that cold yesterday morning. I actually put on a little summer dress with a sweater because I'm getting used to no pants, let me tell you. Putting pants on. I'm going to have an allergic reaction to pants when I do have to go back to work. Anyway, and I went to the office because I had physical files to look at. I had 11 new submissions, and so I needed to get that done. What can I shove in there? I don't want to do another postcard. Oh, I have some of these. So here's a picture, and there's a little girl reading there. So I've backed that onto some file folder and stitched around it a couple of times. So we'll just stick that in there. Turn the page. I have, we need to cover this up. Get some tea-dyed paper. Usually I would use an onion skin. Oh, I guess I could use that. I have this tissue paper. And if I put it on like upside down so that the gold isn't as prominent, for lack of better words, because I don't know any words today. Where's the tear ruler? I've lost my blue tear ruler. I don't know where it is, so I'm using my little one. Do I have a supplier? No, everything is self-found. Oh, which brings me to another subject. Just as the whole lockdown thing was happening, I had bid on a couple of boxes of ephemera at an auction, and I haven't done an unboxing video of it, although I have been sorting and I've actually used some of it, to tell you the truth. And the other day, my son was here. Oh, it was the same Tuesday. And I had a box sitting on the couch that just a flat box. It wasn't like a huge box. A flat box of some stuff that I was sorting out. And there was a big craft envelope from 1942. And it was from CBC, so Canadian Broadcast Corporation. and it contained a map of the world. And on the map of the world, it had like all of the, up till that time, I guess, maybe battles that had taken place in, you know, in the Pacific Theater and in Europe and everything. And he said, "This is neat. Can I have it?" And I said, "Yes, you can have it." I was shocked. So he's getting it framed. He really liked it. I said, "You can have it, but you can't have the envelope. I need the envelope." Okay, where did I put my glue stick? I will start a new glue stick. But it was really, really incredible stuff that was in this. I'll get the one thing to show you. Anyway, this was just as the whole lockdown thing was happening. I drove to St. Thomas to pick it up, and generally when they do online auctions like that, you have to be there between a certain hour, and it's always a very short time. It's like an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, and it's a little chaotic. They allowed more time. They the auctioneer worked from their warehouse, and they had like pylons up, "Don't come nearer than this," and so you didn't actually go in the warehouse, you just kind of went up to the big open garage door. And hey, I like that. And then they brought your lot to you. Okay, I'm gonna add this. So this is a little piece of linen that I attached morning Deb, a vintage postage stamp to it, and that actually this is 1974, I think. So this is an American stamp, and I stitched around it with some black thread. So I'll use some Fabri-Tac to glue that down. I think I'm gonna put it. Oh. I'm gonna put it there. Okay, I'm just gonna grab the one thing that I wanted to show you. Oh, it's right here. I went out there. This was actually, I remembered where I put the box. And it says 1837 to 1966 cards and papers. But inside is this book, and these are really yellowed, and there's lots of cards. There's a whole series of these pleasures of photography cards. I'll take one out and hold it up so you can see it a little better. So there's a whole series of these. But then, and a lot of these are European. But then we get to some other very interesting things. So, envelopes are a rather more recent phenomenon. When you wrote a letter in history, you would just simply fold the paper up and then put a wax seal on it and address it. So this is postmarked Paris, 6th of April, 1844. And this feels like airmail paper, like the airmail paper weight that you would once upon a time use. So the ink itself is turned quite brown, so it has iron in it. I guess that's what that means. And this is addressed to Monsieur Andre Vio. I don't know. Oh, so this is Paris, 5th of April, 1841. I misread the postmark. So this is 1841. I can't read French. Well, I can, but I can't read it in that old cursive. Here's another one. This is 1878, and this is a Belgian stamp. So again, it's French. But isn't that interesting? And this one has like a little letterhead on it, but it's missing. So this one was this one is a little easier for me to read. I have the pleasure to inform you. Yes. No. If I had some context, maybe I'd be able to figure it out. But the paper itself, again, it's sort of like that onion skin, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but there's columns and lines. So that's how, and it's very, very pale. So that's how they were able to keep everything so square. But, and I won't show you all of these. I know it's fascinating to me, but maybe not to the whole wide world. But the most interesting one to me is much, much older. Let's see if we can find it. A lot of the things that this collector got were just empty envelopes. So, for example, this is from the Alumni Society of McGill University. There's no date on it. There's nothing in the envelope. It's just an empty envelope. So that's going to be a cool piece of ephemera to put in a junk journal. So there's a lot of those. Oh, this one. It's boy is laying across his mother's lap and getting his pants sewn back up. That's so cute. And it says repaired while you wait. This one is really neat. So it talks about this James Foster in England, and it talks about, you know, the specialties, hand and power knitting machines, rib top machines, seaming and linking machines. So, you know, something to do with textiles. But somebody has crossed that out and put a different address there, and then it got sent to somebody in Saxony in Germany. I don't think it will open. Like it feels like it's been sealed back down. I don't know. Anyway, I'm see, there's another one of those pleasures of photography cards. I'm trying to find the old one. This might be, this is just an envelope. Nope, that's not it. This one is an envelope. It is from Manhattan Life Insurance Company of New York, 1867. This is from Marseille. I think this one is the one that has ledgers. Nope. 1849. Look at that handwriting. Oh, thanks, Deb. This one has ledger on it. This is 1839. So it's, I'm not sure what it's calculating, but that's from Paris. So there's some really cool stuff in here. And I imagine if the auctioneer had spent some time, you know, sorting things out, he could have individually sold these little letters and stuff. I think this is the old one. Yeah, this is 1769. Like, I'm just blown away that something that somebody wrote 250 years ago is in my hands. So this was written in Rotterdam on the 13th of March, 1769. Yeah, and this is a double page. Oh yeah, so it has some figures on the back. And what's interesting is where there's strong ink, like they dropped a lot of ink making the P and the Q. It's actually like destroyed the paper. Like you can see right through it. I'll bring it up as far as I can, but I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. Like you can see sort of a flicker of light when maybe not. Maybe I'm imagining things. So that was a really good find. And with online auctions, you're taking a chance. I mean, there is no way of knowing what you're gonna get. I just I decide what I'm ready to risk, and sometimes I come up roses, and sometimes it's just ordinary stuff. Yeah, it ate it away. That's it. You know, Leanne, I would like to scan it because, I mean, these are one of a kind of things that people would love to see. But I'm not sure how to do that. Like, I know how to scan things, I think. We have a relatively good scanner at the office I could use. And I tried that with a catalog that I got. It was a furniture catalog from the end of the 1800s. And I scanned all the pages, but the scanner wouldn't scan the whole page. Like it would only scan to like the edge of an image, and then it would cut the rest off. It was weird. I don't know. I'd have to get somebody to help me. So I did scan some old cigarette cards that I have. I'm gonna grab those and show you. And this came in a box as well. And this is something I've never seen. It says cigarette cards on it. Can you believe that? And these are from, like, it's talking about these new roses that were introduced. This one was 1904, 1909, 1905. So I'm guessing these are the first or second decade of the 1900s. And they're just beautiful. So I had scanned all of these roses. Yeah. So these are from the Imperial Tobacco Company of Great Britain and Ireland. These are from players, and they're all kings. Henry V. Oh, and it has all the wives here. Catherine of Aragon, Anne Boleyn, Catherine Howard. Oh no, it only has 3 wives. And there's George III. Queen Victoria, Edward VII, Queen Alexandra. This is George V and Queen Mary. And George VI. Are these the same? Yeah, I think they're the same collection. So these ones are all pictures of the royal family. Queen Elizabeth when she was a little one. And then pictures of King George and Queen Elizabeth at different things. The Dean of Westminster. Those ones are kind of boring. There's the princesses. And then we get into some animals. These look like bats. Ooh. Some owls. These are all owls, it looks like. Woodpeckers. Oh, look at the little squirrel. Oh, look, they're sorting mail here and picking up mail. I could add these to this journal. So this is all about trains, I guess? Railway equipment is what it's called. Railway equipment, okay. Pasted in the book. Yeah, luckily these ones are all loose and in individual slots. These are all cars. Oh, look at the eggs. So this is, did you know? So these are like little factoids. That's interesting. Did you know how crickets and grasshoppers chirp? And then we're getting back into some roses. Look at these beauties. This is one of my favorites. The pansy. And then there's agriculture? No. Oh. So products of the world. So cocoa, opium, tea. Oh, the raven and the swan. I wonder what this is. This has got to be like myths or some fables or something. Fables and their morals. And there's a butterfly. And these are just different animals. There's a cute little squirrel. Look at the rabbits. So sweet. No, I got this in Woodstock at the Nostalgia Show. So back in the olden days, before we had coronavirus, yeah, supplied by the London Cigarette Card Company. They had a Nostalgia Show at the fairgrounds at Woodstock once every other month, I think. And then on the opposite months, they would have it in Ancaster. Yes, there's giraffes. I saw it. I just saw a giraffe, and it actually, they had written on it. There it is. Right there in the center. And it says, "This is Ray." And this card is the one that pops up. So it's actually cut so that the animal would pop up. I don't think this one has been popped, so I'm not going to do that. But I do have some that are popped. An elephant. A donkey. Anyway, so at the Nostalgia Show, again, it's individual sellers, and most of them are like much older senior people, very few youngish types. And you can tell this has been a hobby of theirs, and they wanted to get into the resale market, I guess. So you can really find some really cool stuff at reasonable prices. And I find that if you get into a conversation with somebody and tell them, you know, this is what I'm interested in, I like paper, or, you know, I'm looking for such and such, they are happy to help you find it and give you a deal, especially if you're buying multiple lots of things. Gosh, last time I was there, I got some really cool books, and the guy sold them to me 3 for $10. Like, crazy. So I enjoy going to that show. Doug hates it. He never wants to go. He doesn't want to look at everybody's crap. And it's not, there's not antiques. It's all small. So books, paper, stamps, coins, some you know, small pieces of pottery or china, but not a lot of that kind of thing. It's mostly, you know, like one guy will have all milk bottles, because that's, you know, his thing. Or one guy will have all comic books, or yeah. So where they do have people who specialize in a certain area, it's always good to take an extra look, because if there's things that don't exactly fit with their specialty, they'll sell them off really cheap. Okay, so this is a piece of tea-dyed typing paper, and I dried it underneath a plastic lace tablecloth, so that's how it has this lacy kind of look to it. So I'm just gonna add some glue to that. But I found some really cool stuff there, like Denison seals, you know, like that kind of thing. A couple of weeks ago, well, I guess it was more than a couple weeks ago, probably 2 months ago. We were chatting on one of the Facebook groups. I don't know if any of you follow Kitty Witty Papercraft. She has a very distinct look. Anyway, so we were chatting about some finds that somebody had gotten, and she was Canadian, and actually it turned out, we found out that she was from St. Thomas, where I used to live. And so I mentioned to her, oh, next time Woodstock, it's about halfway between where I live now and St. Thomas, it's worth the trip. I said, next time Woodstock has its nostalgia show, you have to go. And she said, oh, I went. And she said, there was this album of vintage Valentines that I wanted really bad. And I said, I know, I saw that. He wanted $125 for the album, and I offered him $100, and he wouldn't take it, so I let it go. And then a couple other people, they're also like Southern Ontario. So one was from Burlington, one was from Hagersville. Shout out to Hagersville. And oh, here's something I'm going to use. I can get it out of the box. Maybe I'll put that on there. That's cute. Maybe it's too big though. Anyway, so I mentioned to the people from, you know, more the eastern end of the country, you know, they have the same show at Ancaster. You should definitely check out that. So we kind of joked about, oh, when it's in Ancaster, we'll all go. And we'll each put in $25, get the album, and split it up between us. I thought that was a good idea. But it ended up being canceled, so what do you do? Oh, look at this. It started to say something about letters, but I actually saved this image instead. Well, poo. Too many choices. think I'll do these books just as a decoration. Yeah, that's right. Our plans for everything have certainly changed. I just realized when I was at the office this week that in the office calendar, I was actually booked to be on holidays yesterday and all next week because I was supposed to fly out of Toronto last night at 10:30 to go to England for a tour, a week-long tour, 8 days, I think. And we've been trying to get there for 4 years and have not. There's always been something happened. So here's a font. It's Victorian. I've got to have more of this book somewhere. I think I'll put a pocket here. I don't want to cover up all this. This is because this is about letter writing. It talks about the salutations you should use when you're writing to certain dignitaries. What shall we use for a pocket? Not like I don't have any options. I have many options. No. International Correspondence Schools. Maybe I'll just do a tuck spot. And what I'll do is I'll use this big die cut of a postage stamp, and then I will put a little collage on top of that or something. What do you think of that? Should I do something smaller? I don't know if I have anything smaller. I tend to go big or go home. Yeah, we'll go with that. So this has a stamp on it. That's why I thought it kind of went good there. And then what other terrible things happened this week? Doug broke a tooth. He was complaining about his tooth all day Sunday, and then when he took his partial plate out, his tooth that the hook goes around, that tooth broke off. So Monday morning he called the dentist to see if he could get in, and they said, no, we're only taking emergencies. And I said, well, call him back on Wednesday. Tell him you're in agony. Poor Doug. Make these little booklets. This has some black on it. And it's just, these were actually the cover of a notebook. So I might put that in there. We'll let that dry. Oh, I was working on the binder. I glued the spine and then I put it aside so that it could dry. Okay, I'm going to use this one. So this is just a little card, and it has an envelope. So, maybe I'll put it here, and then it can be opened up. I miss garage sales. If we were not in the zombie apocalypse right now, I would be out yard sailing. My favorites are when they do the town-wide ones, so you don't have to like be driving all over the city. You just go to a little town and put your tote bag on your shoulder and just walk, and it is really, really fun and enjoyable. But not possible at this time. Okay, this is an envelope and it has a window, and I've cut it at the top. So I will glue the flap shut. The New Dundee, yeah, that is on, that would have been next weekend, right? Yeah, that's usually the Victoria Day weekend. Go down and get me an elephant ear or a beaver tail. It's one of the holiday weekends. I think it's in May because it's been cold on some years that I've gone. Just getting a punch so I can do a little thumb hole here. That didn't go so hot. I won't do that one again. Just have to carefully trim. Another one that I really, really like is Shedden. They, on I think the first weekend of June, they have what's called the Rosy Rhubarb Days. So it's townwide for like 3 days, and like they sell pies, rhubarb pies, and jam, and all kinds of rhubarb kinds of stuff. But that's been canceled. Much to my chagrin. I'm gonna have to make some tags, I guess. I don't have very many tags. I have lots of journal cards, but no tags. What's this? Oh, it's a postcard. Postcard's not gonna fit in there. Here's Elizabeth Barrett Browning. I could make a tag out of her. The window will be not that exciting, but I also have these Tim Holtz ones. Tags and these journal cards. The story begins. Wow. Oh yeah, the new Hamburg one. It is so busy though. Oh my gosh. You can't hardly move in New Hamburg, but it's a good one. That's for sure. I like New Hamburg. I like the thrift store there. There's a restaurant downtown that I like breakfast at. Okay, I'm happy with that. I have these tiny little envelopes that I made by tea dyeing business envelopes, the security envelopes. I might just put one there, and then I can put a little tag in or something later. I have some that I sort of patchwork together with lots of thread. That might be fun. It's got some purple, and let's do that one. What do you think? I think I do have a pen. So, like, put it on the card. Or is that too big? So that you can see it through the window? Maybe I have another one. Oh my gosh, I got so much cute stuff in here. I can't even see it. It's so cute. The other one I really like locally is Mannheim. I've had fun at the Mannheim one. That's one of the first town-wides. Look at these. I have these little foreign language cards too that talk about writing. That's what I'll put in the back of this envelope. Okay. If I find a pen, I might go back to that. I'm going to use this one, I think. Yeah, I thought it was too big. But if I find one that's the right size, I'll go back to it. But I like that the back of the card says the story begins. Because, you know, it'd be good for writing stories. And what do I got here? To write, to read, book, feather, reply. I don't know why I have so many forests and woods. Bird, tea, reply to, answer, response, notebook, write, mail, ink, and cow? I don't know. There's something wrong with me. Yeah, last year, the Mannheim one, I got a whole box of old stamps and envelopes for next to nothing. It was right on the corner of the church. It was raining, and so there was hardly anybody there because it was a rainy day. These are all German. I think I will do the mail one in there. Just kind of stick that there for the time being. also have a whole bunch of pen nibs, but they don't have like holes in them, so they're hard to use for like a charm or something, which is frustrating. There. I'm happy with that. So this is a tuck spot. What can I put in it? So I have this little journal card. It has a lady in a hammock reading a book. So we'll stick her in there. And then this can be unfolded. Okay. Next up. Here's a little spot I can put just like that, and then I can tuck something under there. Can I drill one? I don't know. Will I drill one? I don't know. They're metal, right? And they're tiny. I'd probably take a finger off or something, knowing me. But they would make really cool charms. Okay. And here's a little collage I made. It says lettergram. I'll put him right at the top. But my favorite source for ephemera is estate sales. Now, I might be wrong about that. I've been wrong before, not today, but in historically I've been wrong. We don't have estate sales in Canada, which is weird because, like, what do we do with old people's stuff? I don't know. But they have them in the States, and it's like an hour and a half for me to get across the border. And I love going to estate sales in around the Buffalo, Niagara region. Sometimes if we're going to go away for a weekend, we'll just keep on going and get to Pennsylvania. I would like to check out more flea markets, because again, that's something that maybe we have in Canada, but not here. So this is 3 envelopes that are joined together. And put a little scrap of paper in each one. Hey, this one got ripped off. We need to add something to that. Where did I put those big... Where did I put those big Tim Hortons cards? Here's the little ones. Oh, Nancy. Oh, thanks, Louise. You like watching me lose my marbles. Ah, heck. I don't know what I did with them. I had a whole stack of them. They're gone. Who took them? Oh, there they are. Hello. These might be a little big. Yeah, they're too big. Let's see these tags. Well, the tags aren't too big. Let's see if we can find one that's can be journal on. I think this one's probably a good one for journaling on. Oh, this one has lines and stamps. Let's use that one instead. And I'll just pop that in there. There we go. Just tuck that there. I had an idea. Maybe I should have sorted things out a little better. I think I'll put that one there. Oh, here's a little envelope that it was in a book about stamps, I think. So I just cut out the image and glued it onto some card. We'll just stick that in there. And I'll find a better card somewhere. Oh. Sure. I should be careful with how much I'm putting in here, but I've just got so much stuff I'd like to take advantage of. Like, I've got a ton of these little tags I made. That one's too big. There's, I think, 3 signatures in this book. This one talks about the Pony Express. Ink that up. Laundry. Why do you have laundry? Nobody wears any clothes anymore. Or if they do, it's like me and you choose something completely inappropriate. Look how many of these tags I have. Oh, this one's cute. Oh, I'm going to use that as a tuck spot. These are just envelopes. So I made all of these tags using security envelopes, the insides of security envelopes that I just collaged onto file folder and then collaged things on them, like stickers and stamps. This one has, I don't know what kind of birds those are. It's an Audubon. But here's a postage mark from 1930. And I think a lot of this stuff came from that collection of stuff that I got. Ooh, I like this one. This one's going as a tuck. So this is just a fussy cut. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of the collage elements were from that collection of stamps and letters and stuff that I got at yard sale at the church on in Mannheim. Mannheim was one of the first townwide yard sales I ever went to years ago, and it was just, it blew me away because it is a huge Mennonite community and there were so many wagons and horses there. No. I'm just looking for something to tuck in there, but I don't, nothing's doing it for me. I'll have to sort through stuff later. Here's another pencil. We need something here for sure. Oh, this is a little envelope I made, and I could put it on like that, and it could flip out. But I would need something really cute to put in there. So I think I will hang on to that idea for a minute or six. I think I could do that. Yeah, lurking's okay. I do that too. I turn on a video just because I want company. I want to hear another voice besides my own. So I'll add a little ink to that. as soon as I figure out where I put my ink. You know what I think I'll do? I think I'll make it like, do it like an accordion fold. And then I'll add some extra paper for journaling. Now I'm looking for a knife. I feel like I'm so disorganized right now. I am disorganized. And no feeling about it. Because I don't have my pin in there. I don't have my lid on my Fabri-Tac. And okay. Maybe I'll put it up higher. Go this way. Put it up higher, so because I tend to put everything in the bottom corner, and then it gets really thick down there. Oh, poo. Now it's too long. Gosh. I do have other ones. Some of them are slightly, like see this one's longer. This one looks long. Okay, I'm just going to turn that around so that it's showing out the right side. And I will glue it on like this. No, I didn't. Do you know what? I thought I needed new Fabri-Tac, but I have not hardly done any crafting this week because of the sewage backup and the cat and working for a living. So many things to disturb me. I think they do have the 3-in-1 at Walmart. So I could just go and get it at Walmart if I got into desperate straits. There's a little fussy cut I can put there. It says never needs ink. Nope, don't like it. Don't like it unless I can add something else to it. Okay, ink. And the words that are on this little dictionary heart is postage stamp. Oh, they have Fabri-Tac at Walmart. Oh. And we've been going to the Walmart up in St. Jacobs because it's not nearly as busy as local. It's still snowing. Like the sun's come up and melted everything, but it's still snowing out there. I like this book because it's all neutrals. Like there's not a lot of color in it. And I guess beige is my favorite. I'm so beige. There, it never needs ink. And then you just flip that out, pull that little letter out, and there you go. What did I want to ink before? Was there something I wanted to ink and then couldn't because I couldn't find my ink? I'm trying to read everything. Oh my god, 10 centimeters of snow. Like nothing's sticking. Everything is melted. I'm sure the temperature is going up, but my nephew posted on Facebook last night that his greatest fear is that he's going to get one of the murder hornets caught in his mask while he's shoveling snow in May. Yeah, I like that kid. He's funny. One of the things that I've learned about me during this whole pandemic is I don't know how to buy the right amount of grapes. I have thrown out so many grapes. It's terrible. I could buy 5 grapes and still throw 1 out. I like that with 3. Okay. We didn't find anything to tuck in there. Here's the BC Express from the National Postal Museum in Ottawa. There. Got that. I just dropped my pin. And I know I need to put a ribbon on this. My last pin, I had a ribbon on it, and I would just pull the ribbon. And then one time I pulled the ribbon and it pulled the ball off of the pin. Oh, what a nightmare. I need something down here to balance. Hey, I found this pen. Gotta save that. Here's a little slide I made, and I put stamps in between the pieces of acetate, and then collaged on some old paper. I'm not going to use that because this needs to be free, so you can examine both sides. But I certainly have other things I can add. There's lots and lots of fussy cuts. I haven't even got down to the bottom yet. That's cute. Too big to go on that. I don't really want it just hanging there either. Maybe I'll use this globe as a tuck spot and then put these postage stamps on top. An ostrich feather. I do. I don't know if you ever noticed that or not, but I have a quill as part of my tattoo. Maybe I should bring it up a little closer. Let's ink up this bad boy. Oh, last time we were visiting, I mentioned that my husband and my youngest were building a desk. So the desk is done. I haven't seen it in person because he was only working on part of it while he was here. So I've only seen part of it, but he sent me a photo. And it looks like it turned out good. I had my concerns that there might be bloodshed or amputation. Yeah. And I think it ended up being more of an expensive sort of task than he initially thought. But he's happy with it. And that's all that matters. That looks weird. Maybe like that, it's fine. Oh, I'll tell you, it says strength and purpose. So I got that when I was 41. I got all of these images of people reading letters and reading books. Women, mostly. Oh, look, I got two the same. One's bigger than the other. This one's cute. So none of these have been glued down to anything to make cards. They're just, oh, that's Lord Byron. So if I want to use these as tuck spots or journaling cards, I'll have to reinforce them. Yeah, see, it pays to go down to the bottom of the barrel. Aww. I will have to do some work on that. I'm kind of not loving that. Not loving that. I've got to have some kind of a little fussy cut I can add. Oh, he's cute. He might be too big. Oh, I'm putting him on. He's cute. No, it's 9 years old. My youngest son and I went and got tattoos at the same time. He was 16. And that was the year his father died. So, and his father's name was Luigi. So he got a big Luigi from the Mario Brothers video game on his calf. And at the same time, I got this one. And at the time, it'd been a rough year for me. So that's why I got this tattoo, just to remind myself that as bad as it gets, I can get through anything. And getting through that year, I'm telling you. That was a year. All right, I am at a point where all I'm doing is making a mess now. I can't find anything. So I think I'm gonna shut down for now. Go back to gluing the cover on my sewing book, and then hopefully I can get this book finished. It's feeling much fuller. a little more interesting. So hopefully I can get this finished, get that cover on, and I'll do another video this weekend. So have a good Saturday, folks. I hope that you don't actually get 10 centimeters of snow out there in Nova Scotia. But the faster this polar vortex thing leaves, the happier I'm going to be. So take care, everybody. We'll talk to you again soon. Pizza. All right. Take care. Oh, yeah, I will. If I can remember how to shut this off.